Imagine creating iconic films that are still being quoted and talked about today, owning successful wineries, resorts, and having the privilege to stand as a legend in the cinephile community while also being part of Hollywood history. Francis Ford Coppola has certainly made a name for himself. But his new self funded sci fi epic, with a huge cast and an estimated budget of $120 million releasing this week, has already projected to earn between $5 to $8 million in its opening weekend. Mired with plenty of controversy, Megalopolis is looking to be one of the biggest film disasters from a man that has only been portrayed in the media as an eccentric and difficult person to work with. But let's start from the beginning of the production disaster that is Megalopolis. Towards the end of filming Apocalypse Now in 1977, Coppola had an overall idea of Megalopolis. Sound designer Richard Beggs would describe Coppola's vision of Megalopolis as an opera screened over 4 nights with similarities to Richard Wagner's German epic music drama The Ring in, quote, some place as close as possible to the geographical center of the United States, unquote. In the beginning of 1983, Coppola devoted time to developing the film that included 400 pages of notes and script fragments in 2 months. For the next 4 decades, Coppola would collect newspaper clippings of political cartoons, different historical subjects to incorporate into a future screenplay. Despite lacking a finished script for Megalopolis by 1991, Coppola announced he would begin filming, which would not be the first or last time this would be said. After mentioning the project in 1991, the film was postponed to, quote, no earlier than 1996, unquote, as he was prioritizing other projects like Bram Stoker's Dracula, Jack, and The Rainmaker. In 2001, he did table reads in a production off in Brooklyn with actors you've probably heard of like Nicolas Cage, Russell Crowe, Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, Giancarlo Esposito, Eddie Falco, James Gandolfini, John Hamm, Paul Newman, Al Pacino, Parker Posey, Kevin Spacey, and Uma Thurman. Unfortunately, after a few months of production, the September 11th attacks would compel Coppola to rewrite most of the film as there were far too many similarities to the tragic event itself, while also disclosing intent to self-finance the film. Although production halted, Coppola's winery and resort money would eventually be the resources he would use to bring Megalopolis to life. Also, true story, you can't make this up. After watching his interview with Anthony Bourdain on his travel show in Sicily, Coppola noticed his weight gain and signed up for a 5-month program at Duke University's fitness center and started listening to his Megalopolis readings, which gave him the encouragement he needed to bring his dream movie to life. True Hollywood story.
Francis Ford Coppola made that?
The day before his 80th birthday in April 2019, Coppola would announce his return to the project, selling his wineries to produce the film. The cast was brought in, including Adam Driver as the main protagonist Caesar, Giancarlo Esposito as the antagonist Mayor Cicero, as well as Nathaniel Emmanuel and Aubrey Plaza as Caesar's potential love interests. Also, Shia LaBeouf is in this. The global pandemic would slow down production, but filming would begin in late 2022. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. They were originally going to be the first film to shoot on Trilith Studios' Prism stage, which is like a full LED virtual production volume, but due to budget constraints, they went with a more traditional green screen approach. For the production itself, Coppola bought a closed drive-in Days Inn for the whole crew and his extended family, which would later be open to the public as an all-movie hotel that offers hospitality and facilities needed to make movies. But aside from this interesting gesture of what you would call kindness, production had a lot of creative differences, allegations, and other horrible things that you are about to hear. One crew member recalled during filming, Coppola would allegedly sit in his trailer smoking that ganja, film something that was unplanned or not mentioned to anyone else, and everyone would just do their best to go along with it. Adam Driver was with Coppola allegedly for 6 hours for his first day on set in order to achieve an effect by projecting an image on the side of Driver's head. December 2022, Coppola fired most of the visual effects team, and due to what many called an alleged unstable filming environment, other crew members would later exit, including the production designer, the art director, and the entire art department. In January 2023, reports came that the budget had ballooned higher than the initial $128 million. Coppola would later speak to Deadline in regards to the Atlanta set of Megalopolis after all of the firings. Quote, "I love my cast. I love what I'm getting each day. I am on schedule and on budget, and that's what is important to me," unquote. Oh, and then this happened in February 2024 during the Studio 54-esque club scenes that involved many extras that were scantily clad or topless. Yeah, these leaked videos of Coppola getting a bit too handsy with the extras on set would lead to a legal battle with Variety in September of 2024, roughly 2 weeks before Megalopolis was set to officially release, and are likely going to be ongoing. But let's finally get into more of the silly things that this movie will be really known for. For example, after filming wrapped and editing was to be completed, Coppola gave one half of the film to one editor and the other half to the other editor, allowing them to trade sections to complete the entire edit of the film. Adam Driver was told to recite the to be or not to be speech from Hamlet, seemingly as a warm-up exercise, but during the editing process, Coppola suggested to include the Shakespearean scene. During the private industry screening and the Cannes premiere, a person would walk on the stage in front of the projection screen and address Driver's character, Caesar, who would break the fourth wall and reply in real time. But in 2021, Coppola actually worked with Amazon's support team to accomplish the fourth wall break by creating a custom Alexa software that would let audience members ask Driver's character a question about the plot and would allow the software to choose the most relevant answers based on a pre-approved list. But due to Amazon's 2022 layoffs, this partnership never happened, and Driver would later suggest just having an usher ask a pre-agreed question instead.
What is this crap?
The initial trailer for Megalopolis was also very much mired in controversy. Lionsgate released the trailer in mid-August of 2024, and it was basically snippets of fake negative reviews of Coppola's The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and Bram Stoker's Dracula. 90 seconds of footage from Megalopolis, and narration from Lawrence Fishburne saying things like, quote, "True genius is often misunderstood," unquote, and, quote, "One filmmaker has always been ahead of his time," unquote. Variety even suggested that the fake negative reviews in the trailer may have been produced by ChatGPT. This led to the trailer getting taken down by Lionsgate, them saying an apology and firing the marketing consultant who delivered the quotes. The new trailer in September 5th of 2024 was pretty much the same minus the quotes.
Francis Ford Coppola made that?
Finally, to add a cherry to this film's release, Coppola would create a Letterboxd account. Remember, this guy is 85 and rated his film 5 stars out of 5 on the app. So yeah, go see Megalopolis and tell me what you think, especially since it will be sharing IMAX screens with The Wild Robot and then get replaced by Joker 2, the true cinematic experience.